that's necessary to broach, nevertheless incredibly uncomfortable and unavoidable. And that is the situation involving Jaden Ivey, formerly of the Detroit Pistons, and now formerly of the Chicago Bulls. He's gotten himself into quite a quandary, and it's self-inflicted.
In 2024, Phoenix Energy rose to become the 11th most prolific.
Jaden Ivey already been shut down for the season due to a left knee pain. Over the past week, went live multiple times on Instagram, sharing what some would say were inflammatory remarks tied to his religious beliefs. What the Chicago Bulls were saying was conduct detrimental to the team. What others were saying were LGBTQ plus stuff. Okay? And the reason why this story has really percolated even more is because he was waived by the Chicago Bulls. I think his mother's a coach at Notre Dame. I had the luxury of meeting him when he was drafted. Liked the kid, met his mom, wishing him nothing but the best. But we got to talk about this because we don't run from issues on this show. We haven't before, and we certainly are not going to start now. Jaden Ivey said a few things. And rather than me quoting and reading those quotes, I want you to hear from him yourself. First, he made the comments that got him in trouble. And then in a 42-minute appearance on Instagram Live. And then thereafter, ultimately getting waived by the Chicago Bulls, he had even more to say. And, of course, Coach Billy Donovan of the Chicago Bulls had to speak on it as well. So let's take it in the order that it.
Good evening and welcome in to the Athletics Podcast. I hope you all are doing well. Good evening. Good evening. It has been some time since I've been here. So we're talking about the situation with Chicago Bulls, Jaden Ivey. Jaden Ivey was cut from the Bulls after some anti-gay comments, comments of attack towards people of sexuality and things of that nature. It was a very, very interesting situation because, I feel like in the NBA there has been plenty of situations where players have blatantly beaten up other players, or there was a situation where a player has beaten up their own coach and has gotten suspended, for 90 days, 60 days, whatever. And Jaden Ivey gets completely cut from his team due to comments that were not appropriate and just outright, just wasn't appropriate either way. And so Jaden Ivey, sadly for Bulls fans, had to say goodbye. But wow, just in crazy stuff there. Not sure why he's doing that, but hey, times are changing, the world is changing, and basketball, though, is still getting great. Speaking of basketball getting great, basketball is getting so close. We are down to the last 6 to 7 games, give or take. We've got left. We are about to be in the playoffs. The playoffs are looking amazing. We'll actually, real quick, while I'm here and taking this moment, we'll talk about the standings so far with 7 games left. In the Eastern, we have the Detroit Pistons standing on top at the 1 seed, followed up by the Celtics in the 2nd seed, the Knicks in the 3rd seed, the Cavaliers in the 4th seed, Hawks 5th seed, 76ers 6th seed, Toronto Raptors 7th seed, Hornets 8th, and Magic 9th seed. So these are the nine teams well, including the Heat, 10 teams that are looking like they're going to be in the play-in / playoffs. Followed up in the Western Division, which a lot of people would say is pretty crazy right now. The Thunder in the 1st seed, the Spurs in the 2nd seed, the Lakers in the 3rd seed, the Nuggets in the 4th seed, the Rockets in 5th, followed up Timberwolves in 6th, Suns in 7th, Clippers in 8th, Trailblazers in 9th, Golden State in 10th. So crazy stuff going on in the basketball world. Incredible, just incredible. We're getting there. I'm excited. I got a Lakers, Luka Doncic, number 77 on right now, currently. And we'll come to this in a little bit. My pick to win it all for the NBA. It's a really hard. I mean, it's looking like, it could either. Honestly, I'm going to go Western. It's going to be either Thunder or Spurs, maybe Lakers, but Thunder and Spurs look like they're most likely going to get it. I can't really see as much as the Celtics look good, the Knicks look good, the Pistons look good. I just don't think any of those 3 teams could beat the Thunder Spurs alone to win it all. So it's either going to be Thunder or Spurs. I mean, I could say Lakers fans. Laker, definitely. But, I mean, Thunder and Spurs definitely look like the more superstars. So, hey, we'll see, though, when it comes all down to it. I'm really honestly excited to see how it comes to an end, how it comes to a close, and how we will get there. Celtics, though, speaking of Celtics, they're doing very well. Like I said, 2nd seed. They played their most recent game. What was their most recent? Their most recent game was yesterday with the Heat and Celtics. Celtics won 147 to 129. The game before that, they played the Hawks, where they lost by 10, 102 to 112. So that's what's going on in Boston. Boston is doing great. I know Jason Tatum is coming off a leg injury. He's doing actually pretty well, coming off it's an ACL, if I'm correct. I believe it's an ACL. He's doing really well, though, coming off that ACL tear. He's doing a lot better than I think most would expect. But we got some games going on today. Suns and Hornets, followed up by Pistons and Timberwolves. Tonight the Lakers play the Thunder, which that actually will be a good game. That's a game I'm going to be watching in. I think most people I would recommend, because Lakers 3rd seed, Thunder 1st seed, both teams look great. But Thunder have had the Lakers numbers in the last 3 games, so we'll see how it goes. Maybe we can recover, or they'll continue that streak. Pelicans and Trailblazers, followed up with Cavaliers and Warriors, and then the night game is Spurs and LA Clippers. So a bunch of great games coming up. A lot of great games there. It's just going to be awesome. Speaking of more basketball, though, let's stray away from the NBA and let's look at our college ball, the NCAA. What's going on over there? So we had the final games this week, where we had the round. What was it? The sweet. No, that's not the Final Four. It was the Elite Eight. The Elite Eight. So now we are in the Final Four. We have the Illinois number 3 seed and UConn 2nd seed. UConn is looking like they could win it all, but then they have what I would say is the hardest matchup is going to be both 1st seed Michigan and Arizona. Michigan and Arizona 1st seed facing off against each other. Then, like I said, 2nd and 3rd seed Illinois. Incredible. Both those teams will be facing off on Saturday, April 4th, and then followed up Monday, April 6th will be the final championship. So by the time we come back next week, it'll be all wrapped up. We'll talk about it. Honestly, I think either Michigan or UConn, like either Michigan or UConn, in my opinion, I think is going to win it all. I think both those two teams have it. I think Arizona's really good, but I'd be shocked if Michigan loses, honestly. They could. They very much can. But I think Arizona, like, for Arizona fans, I think this is where it ends. I think it ends here. Incredible stuff. What do you guys think? Anybody have any takes on who they think is going to win it all? Like I said, I think Michigan or UConn, for me personally, is what I'm looking at. And it's going to be good. It's going to be really good. As I talked before, it was surprising seeing UConn definitely throw off Duke, especially with Duke having that 20-point lead. But hey, UConn made that massive comeback, and hopefully they can win it against Illinois. We'll see how it goes. Maybe Illinois will win it. I would honestly, Illinois could definitely surprise me. Now, what we should be talking about is what's on my head. UConn is my bet. Yeah, UConn is a fair bet. They won last year, so it's a very fair to say that they probably have it all. I mean, they just beat number 1 Duke, But we got to talk about some old baseball. What's going on in the baseball world? Well, Red Sox ain't starting off so hot. 1-5. I think they won their first game of the season. I think they won the first game, and then they're on like a 5-game losing streak, I believe. Yankees, on the other hand, though, are doing the opposite. 5-1, baby. 5-1. Oh, my goodness. Baseball is coming in. NBA is getting close to the playoffs. The NFL draft is coming up too. So we're going to see a lot out of the draft. What do you guys got? If you're, you should tell me in the comments. We should get what team you're a fan of and what young players you guys want on your team. Like what player is your team? What player is your team looking at drafting? Or at least who do you think your team's gonna draft? I'm curious to know what people think. Do they think their favorite player is gonna get drafted on their team? Who knows? But I'm curious to know. Me personally, as a Seahawks fan, we're obviously the last pick in the draft. However, though, we're looking at. I personally would hope. I'm hoping for a running back. I'm just being out there. We lost Kenneth Walker, as most people saw. Kenneth Walker got sent to the Chiefs in a surprise. Honestly, I don't think a lot of people expected Kenneth Walker to walk, but hey, he's getting offered more money. He might be more successful down the road. And so Seattle pretty much, the biggest thing we have is we still have Zach Charbonnet, which is great, but Charbonnet is coming off an ACL injury. So at this point, it doesn't look like Seattle's picking up anybody from free agency, maybe. But it's looking like we're going to go for a running back possibly in the 32nd pick. Best available. Is this a Cowboys? Yes, I think this must be a Cowboys fan. I'm going to say this is a Cowboys fan. That's awesome. The Cowboys could use a lot of defense and anything defensively. I think defensively, you gotta make up for what you lost in both Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. So if I'm a Cowboys fan, I'd say whatever the best defensive player is at what they have, the 11th. Hold on, I just gotta confirm. I believe the Cowboys have a top 15. They've definitely got a top 15 like draft pick. So I'm just going to confirm that. Where are they? They are at 12th. Okay, 12th seeded. So they're 12th seeded. Oh, they also have the 12th seed and they have the 20th. Oh yeah, because that was with I'm assuming that has to do with the Micah Parsons trade, like when they got Micah Parsons from the Packers. So, I mean, there's so much. There's like a lot of linebackers, a lot of different linebackers available. So hey, defensive back, defensive lineman, maybe even cornerback. You know, lacking in the cornerback department too. So I think for Cowboys fans, they could definitely use defense. I'd say whatever best available at defense, definitely take it. Yes, the Micah Parsons trade. Okay, perfect. Thank you for clarifying. Yeah, exactly. So it's gonna be good. I mean, for Cowboys fans, this is huge. Like 2 first-round picks. You know, this is huge. I mean, hell, when we got, you know, Devin Witherspoon and Jackson Smith-Njigba in the first round, obviously that made look at us now, you know, like both JSN and Devin Witherspoons are both huge, and they're both huge in their respective positions. So, like I said, either way it goes, I think the Cowboys could definitely impact their team with these 2 picks. Definitely can impact their team in a positive manner. Hey, Cowboys looking to, you know, finally win a Super Bowl. Finally to win a Super Bowl. That's too funny, honestly. But like I said, I think the Cowboys have it. A lot of teams have it. If you're a Patriots fan, obviously just like a Seahawks fan, you kind of have like a later pick in the draft, but that later pick still is good. Still is good. Like I said before, run game in this, the running backs in this draft class look incredible. So it's like running backs look great. Cornerback looks great. Like I said, linebackers, like that's a huge one. So those 3 positions are looking huge. Looking huge. So if your team, your favorite football team is needing an improvement in those 3 areas, trust me, there's plenty of good ones. Plenty of good ones in that department. O-line, I haven't seen a whole lot of O-line though. Like I haven't really paid attention, honestly, you know, my own fault, but I haven't paid attention a lot to the O-line class. So it's hard to say if O-line's going to be good this year. Quarterback, I mean, Mendoza out of Indiana. He's like, I would say the biggest quarterback going into this draft class. A lot of good ones too, but he's the biggest one. Realistically, I just don't see those quarterbacks going to later picks. I just don't see, it seems like for the most part, most teams at this point have their franchise quarterback or a quarterback that they're comfortable with. So besides Mendoza going to the Raiders, it's like, I don't know what other team could use a quarterback, you know, at this point. I mean, definitely could find a good backup quarterback if your team needs a backup quarterback. But in terms of like a starter, it's like Mendoza is like he's like the only big one that is coming out of this draft class. So, yeah, I mean, like that's it. I feel like in terms of the draft, like I said, a lot of teams are looking great coming in. I mean, also one besides you know, the draft, the one other thing we have to talk about is the expansion I had mentioned. I had mentioned on Aired Out a couple days ago when I appeared that both Seattle and Las Vegas will be officially getting a basketball team. So now we are going to have 2 more NBA teams. Now, there hasn't been any confirm, I don't think yet, on the team names or anything yet. but it's looking really like for Seattle, for example. It's right in front of us. It's the Supersonics. The Seattle Supersonics returning would be very huge. It'd be very huge. And so a lot of like fans from Seattle want the Supersonics. It's looking like it's really realistic. I mean, maybe they could do a whole nother team. But I think a lot of Seattle fans would be mad if it wasn't the return of the Supersonics. And one of my friends asked me, because I'm a Seahawks fan, Logan, you're a Lakers fan, but would you be, a fan of the Supersonics? I mean, maybe. I mean, I think I would just, I would love to just be just like, support them. Would I transition to like a Seattle fan? I don't know. Maybe for like a side, just be like, oh, this is a team I support on the side, but I'd still be a Laker. I'd still be a Laker. I've been a Laker forever. I've been a fan of the Lakers for a very, very long time. So I don't think that will go anywhere. But, I support the idea of the Supersonics because Supersonics are really cool. Gary Payton, Ray Allen, Kevin Durant, Sean Kemp. A lot of amazing basketball players have came from the Supersonics. So I would love to see the Supersonics come back. And then, Las Vegas basketball team, that would be it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what like team they come up with because, that's a completely whole new team on its own. Like, going to be a whole, new team, going to have their own building, everything they got to. Yeah, because right now, you got obviously the Las Vegas Aces, which is the female basketball team. But it's going to be interesting to see what the male expansion team, the actual like NBA team, is going to be. As of March 25th, the Basketball Board of Government officially authorizes the expansion of teams in Seattle and Las Vegas on March 25th, 2026, aiming for potential play to begin by the 28-29 season. Las Vegas is a front runner to secure a franchise with bids estimating between $7 billion to $10 billion, likely using T-Mobile Arena as their home venue. So that'll be interesting. What do you guys think about that? I don't know. I think that's going to be pretty cool. I think it's going to be pretty cool to see, like I said, will Seattle, come back with the Supersonics or will they make a whole new team? Like I said, I think a lot of fans are hoping for the return of the Supersonics. But with that being said, I think we are going to wrap things up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening with me. I am excited to see the final conclusion of the college basketball NCAA. Like I said, Final Four starts Saturday, and then the championship is on Monday. So I hope you are tuning in, even for briefly. I will be reporting back, though, next week on results. I'll be back here next week with results. I appreciate everybody in the comments. Appreciate the people taking their time watching this. So thank you so much. And with that being said, this has been the Athletics Podcast. Thank you so much. Thank you. I will see you guys again next week. Tune in next Thursday, same time. Thank you so much. Have a lovely rest of your week. Lovely rest of your day.